What is up, inhabitants of Penguin Village? This is your resident Dr. Sinbei Norimaki, otherwise known as Dr. Slump, and today I'm here to bring you another video review of Dragon Ball Kai. This time it's going to be episode 110, and in this week's episode, the Battle Royale begins. And this episode felt, in general, this episode felt like a bunch of fillers slapped together so that they could give us something to watch and make sure that they make heaps of money. Toei Animation. It really did. But I'll get more into this into the review. So basically we continue from where we left off, where Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta are awaiting the third warrior in Babidi's spaceship. And Babidi is very nervous at the fact that Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan are just powerhouses. They're tearing through his warriors, and he doesn't know what to do. But Deborah says he will be the third one to basically go out there and fight, and he will get plenty of energy for Majin Buu, and everything will be hunky-dory. So Deborah says this, and Babidi says, you better make sure that this happens. And Deborah says, I will. And Deborah goes to what appears to be the entrance to the third stage, but we find out from a minion that's not it at all. That is actually a meditation room which amplifies his chi energy. So we jump into the next scene, and we see that the group cohesion of Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, and Supreme Kai is starting to get a little bit shaky. It's starting to get a little bit shaky in the fact that Vegeta's getting impatient, and Supreme Kai doesn't know what to do at this point with someone like Vegeta threatening to blow up the ship every 5 seconds. So with that scene ends, and we get into the next scene where the tournament crowd is just throwing a riot at this point. They are very mad that the tournament that they spent so much money on is basically being canceled. They're not going to get a proper conclusion. And that's when Hercule says, we should throw a battle royale. A battle royale, you say? What is a battle royale? It's basically where we take all 5 fighters, put them in the ring, and we fight it out. So they decide to go along with this, and the contestants are going to be Killa, the person who basically, he lost in the second round, sorry. He lost in the second round of the last tournament. Mighty Mask, who they think is still the original Mighty Mask when it's Goten and Trunks in disguise, and Jewel, who was the person who was runner-up to Hercule in one of the tournaments, and Android 18, who is going to be the only female in this ring, and Hercule, of course, the champion. So they are stepping into the ring, and Mighty Mask, Goten and Trunks, is having a conversation with Killa, and he says, why don't we knock out Hercule first? And Goten and Trunks are like, no, I'm only worried about Android 18. And he says, what? Why do you have 2 voices? And we see that Jewel is trying to basically flirt with Android 18, ask her out, and she literally says, like, get bent, you bug me. And Jewel cannot believe this. He's utterly shocked. And he's angered that he's rejected. So those two are about to square off when the tournament announcer says begin. And Killa tries to attack Mighty Mask, and Jewel tries to do the same with Android 18, but they basically brush them aside like the regular humans that they are. So once they do that, Hercule is a little bit worried that these two may be a little bit too much for him to handle. But he strikes his signature victory pose, and he says, you know what, this isn't going to be much of a problem for me. I'm going to defeat Mighty Mask in a flashy way, and I'm going to knock Android 18 out of bounds like a gentleman, and everybody will swoon at my manliness. Ha ha! So basically, Hercule declares that he will fight Mighty Mask first and knock him out. But Goten and Trunks say, let's just focus on Android 18. Because remember, she's stronger than Krillin, and she was stronger than our dads once. And Goten's like, yeah, I know. So basically, they're getting ready to charge at 18, and Hercule still tries to charge, rolling at him with his signature Satan punch. And it misses, obviously. He's too slow. And Android 18 and Mighty Mask proceed to have their little scuffle. And this this is very strange, and Master Roshi notes this when they start fighting. Android 18 can't get a clean hit on him, and it's because he's moving very, very strangely, and it's weird because even she notes also that Mighty Mask seems like a weird fighter because his limbs are too short for his body, but he packs such a powerful punch, and he's already a weird fighter, and he's already under suspicion, we see in this episode. So we see that Android 18 is fighting Goten and Trunks, and it proceeds to go to an air battle. And they continue fighting, and that's basically where the episode ends, ending off with them fighting, and we get some scenes where we get further basically group problems with Vegeta and Supreme Kai, and Deborah ending the episode with him meditating. And in this week's episode, I felt that it could have been much better executed, simply because in the manga, this happened much, much, much faster. I mean, Deborah appeared without going in the meditation room. That's completely filler. I did not like that fact because they could have cut that out and made it seem like Deborah was going down to the spaceship. They could have made it to where Android 18 and Mighty Mask's fight end in this episode, and we can get to the Hercule Android 18 fight in next week's episode. And we could have gone without what's going to happen in next week's episode, which is going to be a continuation of Android 18 versus Mighty Mask, and we're not going to even get the conclusion of the World Tournament at that point. So basically, we're spending 4 episodes on a fight that should have happened in this episode. It could have happened in this episode very quickly. They could have made it to that point, but they didn't. They decided not to because they're trying to prolong this into making it they're trying to fill their pockets with more money, and I really did not like that. This episode to me was probably one of the worst, if not the worst episodes of the Dragon Ball Kai Buu saga right now, as I'm stating this. So, yeah, but overall the episode was subpar. It really wasn't interesting, especially with the filler-esque scenes. The episode was almost completely filler, and the action in it wasn't enough to get anyone hyped for really anything, because it's basically just Android 18, who's pretty much irrelevant. She's the only female fighter, yes, but she's pretty much irrelevant, versus 2 kids. So basically, that's the end of the episode. I want to thank you guys for watching again. Like, comment, favorite, and subscribe if you wish. And I'll catch you guys next week for another Dragon Ball Kai review. Peace, and have a great day.